According to the military of its neighbors, North Korea launched a ballistic missile into the sea on Saturday, continuing a trend of weapons testing by the Pyongyang this year despite a protracted standstill in nuclear talks with the United States. According to Shot TV, South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff, the missile was shot from a location close to the capital of North Korea and traveled as high as 560 kilometers before settling in the waters between the Korean peninsula and Japan. It stated the intelligence authorities from the United States and South Korea were closely examining the launch. North Korea conducted its ninth set of nuclear tests in 2022 with the aim of pressuring the Biden's administration of concessions while still using the diplomatic lull to strengthen its military capabilities. The flight parameters were comparable to the previous launch by North Korea last Sunday, which was also carried out from the Sannin region near Pyongyang, and they nearly matched an earlier assessment by the Japanese military. According to the official media in North Korea, the launch last week was intended to test a camera system that will be added to a spy satellite that is currently being developed. Nobuo Kishi, the defense minister of Japan, cancelled a speech at a military academy graduation to protest the missile launch, calling it completely unacceptable. The United States Indo-Pacific Command said the launch did not pose an immediate threat to American personnel or territory or that of its allies. It called on North Korea to immediately cease its nuclear and missile tests. The missile was launched as the world was reacting to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and in the middle of the Beijing Paralympics. In light of the international crisis caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and at a time when the South Korea is holding a presidential election, officials in the Seoul called an emergency National Security Council meeting and urged the North to refrain from actions that further escalated tensions. They also promised stronger cooperation with the United States to deal with the North Korean threat and more closely monitor its nuclear and missile facilities as well as a nuclear test. Two major candidates have disagreed over whether South Korea should continue to pursue engagement with the belligerent North or take a harder line to curb its nuclear threat, according to Seoul's presidential office. The launch occurred as South Koreans waited in long lines for early voting on Saturday morning ahead of a presidential election on Wednesday. In a statement on Facebook, ruling center-left party candidate Lee Jae-myung, who has advocated a conciliatory approach towards Pyongyang, criticized the launch but reaffirmed his commitment to dialogue. He also said he wouldn't tolerate actions that heightened tensions without elaborating on how he would react. The North has conducted other tests this year, including its first launch of an intermediate-range missile since 2017 and a purported hypersonic missile. Military modernization and domestic politics were quietly added as Pyongyang's current priority during a governing Workers' Party Congress that was held by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Politburo members hinted last month that they would resume nuclear and ICBM tests that Kim Jong-un unilaterally stopped in 2018 to follow for talk with then-President Donald Trump. However, talks have been in standstill ever since the Americans turned down North Koreans' demands for significant sanctions relief in exchange for choosing an outdated nuclear facility. Open-ended negotiations with the Pyongyang have been proposed by the Biden administration, but they have not been accompanied by indications of a desire to provide much-needed economic benefits until the North takes concentrated actions to curtail its nuclear and missile programs. The North may perform a covert long-range rocket test to enhance its weaponry and put additional pressure on Washington by claiming it's testing camera systems to spy satellites. Prior to a significant political anniversary in April, the birthday of the late grandfather of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and state founder Kim Il-sung, Some observers believe North Korea may launch a rocket carrying a satellite.